Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. This is Life in Denver. I am Joe. This is Monique. Today we got a fun one for you guys. We're gonna be checking out Cherry Creek North and comparing that actually to DTC, or the Denver Tech Center. They're very similar in nature in the sense of they're both very modern, upscale neighborhoods, but they do have some pros and cons, some differences to each. So with that being said, let's jump into it. All right guys, so jumping into things, in terms of Cherry Creek location-wise is actually a part of Denver, so it's gonna be very close to downtown. It's gonna be 10-15 minutes, but Cherry Creek is gonna feel definitely different from downtown in the sense of it's more of a big modern shopping district. You find some really high-end stores, you find some really nice restaurants. It's a great place to go have date night, go spend some time, but it's not gonna have that same feel as DTC. Monique loves DTC. She's going to speak on that, but there is definitely some variances just in the feel of those two.
Right, and although both of them are very modern, they are very different. As Joe was saying, Denver Tech Center is, a technological hub, so you'll find a lot of tech companies located in the Denver Tech Center. One of the biggest things about Denver Tech Center to know is they did create kind of this hub with considerations that people are going to have business meetings, people are going to go out and have team outings, they're going to have, different types of activities, and so what they did was they really did try and create that area to cater to those needs. So you'll definitely see higher end restaurants. You'll also see like quick restaurants, right? Like if you're in a quick meeting and you didn't bring lunch, you have to stop in at your local shop, get a quick bite and run back to the office. So they definitely took that into account. They also took into account that people who tend to move to Denver like the active lifestyle. So you will see within the Denver Tech Center a lot of walking trails, a lot of, loops around the common area, parks for people to get out of that office. And so definitely something that's worthwhile in terms of mentioning.
Yeah, DTC is going to feel more of a suburb in a sense of there is a big city center that's going to feel like a hub, of course. However, outside of that, you do find like the nice parks, you find the nice walking trails. Not to say that's not a part of Cherry Creek, but it's definitely less prominent there. If you were to compare that to say DTC, DTC is going to allow you to work, have your fun, then also come have that quiet day at the end of the night there and just relax after a long day's work. Cherry Creek, it's great. It has all its pros as well, but that is going to be just more bumping. There's just more going on. It's the city at the end of the day. So it is just going to be a little bit noisier, a little bit, just busier day to day being in that area.
Right. And with Cherry Creek too, they do want, the Cherry Creek Mall is really popular. Yeah. So if you're looking to get out and get exhausted, go to the mall, use your legs to exercise at the mall shopping. But another thing too, there is like some trails, like Joe was mentioning around Cherry Creek. You also have, that big golf court, that big golf club.
Yep.
That's right
Cherry
there.
Creek Country Club.
There you go. Joe.
I'm not a member. I ain't got that kind of budget. Like I said, a lot of hours to join there.
But that's definitely another option. If you do have the budget, there are little local country clubs and things like that. If you did want to be part of something that is active, just know that at Cherry Creek, you probably will have to pay for it more than, in the DTC having the openness and easy access.
Yeah, definitely. And as we speak on it too, one more thing to touch on just in terms of like restaurants, commerce, all that, DTC is going to be heavier on the commerce side just because that is what's housed there, as opposed to Cherry Creek is going to be more of like, I don't want to say family friendly, but it is just a great place to go on the weekends, go spend some time. Not to say you couldn't spend time on DTC, but that's going to be more so a place that is very busy Monday to Friday versus Cherry Creek actually picks up more so on the weekends. So just to give you guys a little comparison there.
Right. And on the weekends too, now that you mentioned that, Cherry Creek, you will see a lot of farmers markets and things like that. Yes. Whereas in the Denver Tech Center, you may not necessarily see that. So Cherry Creek, you'll definitely see like the art district have, gallery openings. You could walk around Sunday morning, check out all the galleries, step into the boutiques, shops, mom and pop shops. Whereas in DTC, that's not necessarily an option, right? That's not their focus. So definitely something worth calling out, especially if you are going to go shopping in Cherry Creek. Be on the lookout if there is an event there, because you will likely struggle with parking.
Absolutely.
Just an FYI.
Parking is always a joy. All right, guys, so 2 more quick points for you, but quick little reminder, if there's anything we missed, any specific questions you guys do have, that number popping up down below. We are licensed realtors out here in Colorado, so any questions, any needs you may have, we'd love to help you out with that. But jumping into the next point here, in terms of Cherry Creek, so Cherry Creek it's a small area, but it makes it very walkable, which is something I love about that area, because you can go there, you park once, you can go to the mall, you can go out to dinner, you can go wherever you want, and you don't have to keep moving around, which is not always the case in honestly even different parts of the city, but especially in some of those suburbs, just because things are more spaced out. A city block, quote unquote, in some of these suburbs can be large compared to like a true Denver city block is going to be very close together, easy to get around. So it is just a very easy place to navigate, on those weekend days when parking is troublesome. You get in once and you're good to go.
Right. And one of the things with parking too in Cherry Creek is you do have to pay to park. So be prepared to pay to park. The Cherry Creek Mall recently, actually a couple years, just launched it used to be able to park for free. And now they charge you based on the hours. So depending on how long you're there shopping. But the cool thing is, like Joe was saying, you can go to the Cherry Creek Mall and then walk right across the street and have access to those outdoor boutiques that we were talking about, or access to the, farmer's market. There's a Whole Foods right there. So definitely a lot of options and walkability, like Joe was saying. On the contrary, when you go to DTC, you are going to need a vehicle. Sometimes you can find parking that's free along the streets, depending on what part of the Denver Tech Center you are in. However, you will see that in the Denver Tech Center, you find like there's Oracle that has a big campus. You're able to find free parking. You'll also find like other corporations where you can park in their lots. However, if you're looking for, parking during when you're dining at the Landmark or any of the local restaurants, you will struggle a little bit to find parking, but there is free parking. And so definitely you do need a vehicle there. You can't necessarily grab and just walk and, walk across the street to dine or to have lunch. You have to actually get in the car and like plan out your date. So definitely worthwhile in terms of calling out the differences between the two.
Definitely, yeah. And one more thing too, just kind of hop back to the Cherry Creek piece, is that it is just going to be more established over there, as we're calling out. It's a smaller area. It's definitely established in the sense of what you find there is what you find. There's not really a ton of new construction. There's not really much, even on the high-rise aspect, coming up at this point. It's more so you're seeing some scrapes, some older homes just being modernized, and just some older visions. But otherwise, you're not really finding the ability to add new infrastructure, new housing in that point. What's there is there at this point.
Right. And in the DTC, it's actually a little bit of the opposite in the sense of there are pockets of open land, and you're seeing developments come in, or like new campuses for new companies come in and develop those areas. So definitely an opportunity for growth in terms of the Denver Tech Center. So you are seeing a lot of modernization in terms of new office buildings, new skyscrapers, not nearly as big as the ones in downtown Denver, but still you are seeing that establishment and that, modernization of the area, because there's still land to be developed. So definitely worth calling out. What's
nice about that though, especially on the DTC side, is the sense of the price point is more affordable in, say, Cherry Creek North, just because of the sense that you do have that room for growth. There is obviously more supply coming to the market. Cherry Creek is very constrained, and there's a lot of buyer demand for that market. So in turn, what you see is that 7-figure price point. So not to say that you can't find a townhome here or there, or maybe an older single family that may need some work, but for the most part, you are seeing that $1 million plus price point in Cherry Creek, as opposed to DTC. You can definitely get in for below that. So it is just whatever you're looking for. But in both areas, you do find availability of single families, condos, apartments you want to rent. All of that is available, but it is going to be a little bit more of a premium placed on Cherry Creek. All right, guys, so next thing to consider is, obviously we've talked on price point, we've talked on how Cherry Creek does have a little bit more of a premium than DTC. What comes with that is the demographic in DTC tends to be a little bit younger. Obviously, they're less established in their career. It's a lot of, people fresh out of college, getting that first tech job. Not to say that those aren't good paying jobs, but obviously that price point in Cherry Creek is going to be more for someone who's a little bit more established in their career, someone who's kind of really thinking about raising a family, wants all that extra space. A lot of people who move to DTC, they don't necessarily vie for a house. A lot of them will jump into a condo or even an apartment just to rent, because they want to really enjoy what DTC has to offer, with the Landmark, with some nice little beer gardens down there, all that fun stuff in that central little hub. But then down the road, down later in their career, they decide, okay, Cherry Creek's where I really want to kind of settle down in life. And that's where they end up finding their long-term setting.
Guys, and as much as Joe and I do love making these videos for you, we would love to help with any real estate needs you may have. Feel free to contact us, text, email, call, whatever the case may be. We are the ones answering all your questions.
Definitely. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.